Hey, Shalom, once again. Eliyahu Yasharal here from Just a Word at justaword.org. And welcome once again to another of our vlogs. And today we are going to look at fringes. We're going to look at the question, should we be wearing fringes? And first of all, what are fringes? Fringes are those things that you see hanging from the bottom of the garments. It actually is a command from the Most High. And you see especially the Hebrew Israelites wear their clothes with these fringes on. And the question is, should we all be wearing fringes as believers? And so for that, of course, as usual, we go to the Word. And we'll go to the command that tells us about these fringes. And we go to Bamidbar 15 verse 37, Numbers 15 verse 37, and it says, And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue. Now, two things to note here. This it was directed to the children of Israel, of course. It was not directed to the men of Israel. It was directed to the children. So this includes women as well. And it was directed to Israel. But we're going to see the implications for today. Do we still have to wear, or are we still required, or is the Most High's command still in effect that we wear these fringes? And another thing to look on, it says, put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue. Now that blue there is a mistranslation because it comes from a Hebrew word which means cerulean blue, and cerulean blue is a shade of violet. So most of the world, including most of the Hebrew Israelites, are wearing the wrong color on the borders. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahuwah. So there we see the reason Yahuwah made them wear the fringe, so they can look upon it and remember his commandments. So the natural thing to say is, okay, I don't have to look on any fringe to remember the commandments. The commandment is written in my heart. All right, but we're going to look at that soon. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahuwah and do them. And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring. Alright, so that's another aspect of it. Remember to do his commandments, and that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes. In other words, when you have on the fringe, it will be a reminder that when you're up and about, that you do not seek after your own, but it is a reminder to whom you belong, and that you seek to do the things of Yahuwah. That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your Elohim. There's another aspect of it, to be holy, to be set apart. So it is used for the commandments, to remember the commandments, and to remind us that we do not seek after our own, and also for us to be set apart. Alright? I am Yahuwah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Alright? So we looked at the reasons for the command. To remember the commandment that we do not seek after our own, go a-whoring after our own heart's lusts and desires, and that we be set apart, we be holy. Three main reasons for the fringes. So, is it necessary today? Isn't it enough to just obey the commandments? Well, as we see, it is more than one aspect of it. Alright? Not only the commandments, so that we do not go a-whoring. Alright? So the whole idea is, when you are in public and you have on your fringes, then a sense of responsibility is on you, knowing whom you represent, and you will be reminded when you're out and about whom you represent. All right, so when trials and certain tests come upon you, then you will always be directed back. I am representing the Most High, not representing myself. All right, and it also sets you apart, makes you holy, sets you apart from everyone else. It marks out who his people are. All right, and remember, it says, love not the world, neither the things of the world. and we must deny ourselves, and we must be set apart from the rest of the world. And another thing to think of is that some commandments have a natural and a spiritual aspect. For example, the Sabbath. It says, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. It tells you that the Sabbath is a day of rest, but it is also a day of holy convocation. So the rest is physical rest, and the holy convocation or the holy meeting, that is the spiritual. All right, so it's both spiritual and physical, and many commandments are like that, have both natural and spiritual. And the problem is, when we come into the new covenant, we think that everything now is spiritual and nothing is natural. But we see here with the fringes, the natural aspect of it is that we do not go a-whoring after our own heart, and that we be set apart from everyone else. All right? So he also said, learn not the way of the heathen. So this is another important part. What the fringes does, it says, speak unto the children of Israel. It sets Israel apart from the other nations. All right? This is a thing that sets his people apart, unless his people know the other. When you go on the streets and you see someone wearing these fringes, you know that this is someone who is following the Most High. Okay? So it is for the children of Israel. And remember, it says, speak on the children that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Whenever we hear throughout their generations, it means in succession. So most of us now who are now realizing, accepting who we are, the children of Israel, it is for us, because it says throughout our generations, and it's for us, and it's for our children, our children's children. All right? This is one of the heritages that was taken away from us. In Jeremiah 17:4, it says, he will take away our heritage that he gave us. This is one of the heritages that he took away, and so we go back to our heritage as the children of Israel. Okay? But what about the Gentiles? Because we know we have Gentiles who are going to join themselves unto Israel. Do the Gentiles have to wear fringes? The word says that the Gentiles have to take hold of our covenants. In Isaiah 56, it says, when they hold on to our Sabbaths and hold on to our covenants. So this is a part of our covenant. So the Gentiles have to partake of our covenants. And it says in Isaiah 56 verse 3 again, it says that let not the stranger that is joined himself to Israel say that Yahuwah hath utterly separated him from his people. So he cannot be separated from the children of Israel. And in Isaiah 14 verse 1, it says, when the children of Israel are entering the kingdom, it says that the strangers, the Gentiles, shall cleave to the house of Israel, or cling to the house of Israel. All right? So that means they will not want to be separate. They want to take up what the children of Israel do. And the Most High gave several times, the Most High said, one law shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourns among you. It tells Israel that there is one law, and that one law means the stranger now has to partake of the covenants, have to do what is given unto Israel. So they have to join themselves unto Israel. All right? So the fringes are essential. If you don't believe me, just think about this. What if we don't need to wear the fringes? What do we lose? What if we don't need to wear the fringes and we do wear the fringes? Will the Most High chastise us for it? No, you cannot be chastised for righteousness. You are lauded for righteousness. All right? So we have nothing to lose if we are not supposed to wear it and we wear it. But on the other hand, what if he expects us to wear it and we do not? Then we will have to give an account for what we have done, and when we go before him, we cannot say we did not know, because there will be no second chance. All right? So we just have to ensure that we obey his commandments. And remember, the promises are for those who obey his commandments. And we have to make his law and accept his law as a delight. As David says in Psalms 119, 174, I have longed for thy salvation, O Yahuwah, and thy law is my delight. The law has to be our delight. It cannot be something that is shunned, as Christianity has taught us to do. You say the law is done away, don't do that, or the law, that is just the law. No. The law has to be our delight. We have to have a zeal for the law through belief in the Messiah. Just as the Messiah obeyed his father's laws, and he was zealous for his father's laws, so much so that he didn't sin, so we too have to be zealous for these laws. So we reach a point of being blameless, because remember, it says that we must be perfect, and to be perfect means we do not transgress the law, because sin is transgressing the law. So if we transgress the law, for example, where the fringes are concerned, as is our topic today, if we transgress the law in that respect, then it means we sin. And if we sin, that means the law is not our delight. All right? And so we have to be zealous for the law. And it is those believers. And some people might say, oh, we are in the new covenant, we don't need any law. I have news for you. Those who obey the law through belief in the Messiah are those who are the saints, those who are the elect, those who will enter into the kingdom, those who will even overcome the mark of the beast. The only way to overcome the mark of the beast, let's see. Revelation 14:11 is going to tell you what happens to those who took the mark of the beast, and then it's going to tell you in the next verse how you overcome the mark of the beast. Revelation 14:11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Then the very next verse, that verse just told you what will happen to those who took the mark. But the next verse tells you how you escape the mark, and we're going to see it is those who keep the commandments. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahuwah and the faith of Yahusha. All right? So they are those who keep the whole truth. The law is the truth, and the Messiah is the truth. So the true believers keep the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Keep the commandments, and the fringes are part of his commandments. Another confirmation, Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, not those that know his commandments. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. All right? So, that is it. Fringes. We must wear our fringes so that we remember to do the commandments, and that we don't go a-whoring after our eyes. Don't go a-whoring after our heart's desires. Don't go a-whoring after sin. All right? And that we be set apart, holy unto Yahuwah. Fringes still necessary today. All right? As the true believers, we should be wearing our fringes, and this goes for men, women, children. All right? To be set apart unto Yahuwah, to obey the commandments of Yahuwah. All right? Thanks for watching. This is Eliyahu Yasharal here from Just a Word. You can check out our teachings at justaword.org. All right? So please like, share, comment on our videos, and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to get more of these videos, where we deal with topics that most pastors, most Christian pastors, do not actually deal with. These are topics that are outside of the church that you need to know, but you are being robbed because of religion. All right? So let's subscribe, and you can be edified by the different topics that we cover. All right? So until next time, shalom.